Hi there and welcome to Party Political Puffin. There's a lot of confusion as to what the welfare state is and what it isn't. This is true in Europe and the UK, but especially in the US. Certainly in the UK, we hear how there are families that are vile products of the welfare state, how many people are making lots of money from welfare and that it's necessary to blitz benefit scroungers. Do you see the problem with that? There are many disconnected and incongruous terms being used and conflated. This is where a lot of the confusion stems from. Regardless of whether the accusations are true, spoiler, they're not. Is that what the welfare state actually is? Free handouts to lazy people, migrants milking benefits, those fit for work defrauding the system rather than spoil something else for you. Why don't we find out together? So let's make sure we've got some definitions so that we can agree on what we're talking about. So what is a welfare state? In the UK, the welfare state is a system whereby the state undertakes to protect the health and well-being of its citizens, especially those in financial or social need, by means of grants, pensions and other benefits. That seems a very reasonable response for any society that is engaged in a social contract, right? Okay, that's my bad. I've now got to define what a social contract is. Social contract theory is something I aim to discuss deeper in a video of its own, mainly because it's just very interesting. Nerd! Despite being one of the most influential moral and political philosophies, not everyone necessarily knows what it is, and certainly there are those that would contest the very notion. Those that are hearing of a social contract for the first time probably have legitimate questions such as, what contract? I don't remember agreeing to anything. For the moment, let's simply say the social contract is an understanding that we, the people, agree to a set of rules, laws, norms, etc., giving up some of our individual freedoms to the state for our mutual benefit. Both we and the state have duties and responsibilities to one another. One of the most basic examples is the state will protect its people, and this protection is funded by the people. As I mentioned, social contract theory really is a series of videos on its own, so I'll leave it at that for our purposes here. Okay, back to the welfare state. The foundation for the modern welfare state were laid in the UK. They emanated from the 1942 Beveridge Report. The report aimed to provide a comprehensive system of social insurance from cradle to grave. The proposal was simple. Working people would pay a weekly contribution to the state. In return, the state, in the form of benefits, would be paid to the unemployed, the sick, the retired and the widowed. Beveridge wanted to ensure that there was an acceptable minimum standard of living in Britain below which nobody fell. From Beveridge's report, proposals such as the establishment of a National Health Service and the National Insurance Scheme were actually implemented by the Labour administration in 1948. Putting aside attempts to reduce, diminish and completely eradicate the welfare state in the UK, it is this notion of the welfare state that remains today. It would not be fitting if I didn't show how the passing of Margaret Thatcher was remembered in the place that I grew up in. So, here's a brief remembrance.
Ding dong! The witch is dead! Ding dong! The witch is dead! Maggie, Maggie, Maggie! Dead, dead, dead! Maggie, Maggie, Maggie! Dead, dead, dead! Maggie! Dead! Maggie, Maggie, Maggie! Dead, dead, dead!
Thatcher's death, I think, is a celebration around the world. Millions of people know she started a legacy, and that legacy was turning over public services.
I'm here to celebrate with everyone else, symbolically. I am celebrating, yeah.
So, simply put, a welfare state is where the people fund the state, and in return, the state will pay benefits when they are needed. A give and get system, if you will. How humane, how grown up, how enlightened. And all those years ago. Who'd have thought it, huh? So who benefits from this system? Well, by the look of it, everyone does, right? The people fund the state and the state ensure that we have access to those funds through various benefits such as unemployment assistance, healthcare, pensions, etc. Happy days. Just a quick point here. I take exception at the use of the word benefit in the context of people's welfare state. You may too. Whilst the dictionary definition is straightforward, something that produces good or helpful results or effects, or that promotes well-being. The tendency in society is for benefit to have a more archaic meaning, that it's an act of kindness, something given, much like a gift. No, this is money paid to the state as part of the social contract. There is no gifting of unemployment assistance, healthcare, pensions. They're already paid for by the people, and the duties and responsibilities of our social contract ensure the state provide these services to the people. As you all live in a world that is basically a capitalist one, you all know that the idea of the people getting the services they've contributed to is, at best, not clear-cut. Regardless of social contracts and any other theory for that matter, the people are experiencing a less than expected return on their investment. To put it in the language of the ghouls, what I meant to say was the ruling class, the system we live in. However, certainly in the UK, we're constantly told that there are people benefiting from the system that do not deserve to. Oh, don't take my word for it. Is this true? Are there those living high on the hog from benefits? According to a report from the London School of Economics, sadly for the Daily Mail, Express and Telegraph, no, it's not true. Doesn't stop them printing lies though. Over the 9-year period studied by the LSE, the level of benefit fraud fell by over 100%. Whilst conducting the study, the LSE also found that the level of errors made by the Department of Work and Pensions had doubled. Whilst outside the scope of this video, the amount lost to tax evasion and avoidance is about 15 times greater than benefit fraud. That's a low estimate, by the way. While we see relentless tales of the terrible lazy proles stealing their way to a life of luxury, which can't be substantiated, we see nothing of a blitz on bad businessmen. There you go, Daily Mail. You can have that alliteration on me. None of this even begins to speak to the corporate tax avoidance that happens with the assistance of the state, that should be ensuring corporations pay their fair share for the benefits, and I'm using the gift meaning here, that they receive. We could get into the political reasons for ensuring why we are led to believe that there are people swanning around in yachts and fast cars from benefit fraud, but common sense, let alone critical thinking, will give you the answer. Simply put, the accusation that there is rampant fraud in a benefit system is not just wrong, it's a lie. And it's a lie in order to turn worker against worker. The people misappropriating the common fund we all contribute to and will all need to access at some point are the wealthiest, those not paying their fair share and actively evading their contribution. That should be where our focus is. Reclaiming the lost funds from grifters and those getting rich off the backs of the working class, and ensuring that they can never again steal from the most needy. Again, there's so much to talk about on this subject that it certainly will need a video of its own. So, in summary, a welfare state is a state that has responsibilities and duties for both government and the governed. It's a place that provides a comprehensive system of social insurance from cradle to grave. It is a place where people contribute to the state in return ensure the people are cared for when they most need it. Times such as experiencing illness, disability, unemployment, when they retire or become widowed. Put simply, in the words of the man that made it possible, the welfare state ensures there is an acceptable minimum standard of living below which nobody falls. Thank you for watching. I hope that you found this useful and got some value from it. I love making these videos. It's a great feeling to know that I've helped in a small way to broaden understanding in general, but in particular for those that may have opposed my politics simply because they're not fully in the picture of a topic or have been misled by those with a nefarious agenda. On the subject of a nefarious agenda, whilst I am looking to overthrow capital, my family and I have to live within that system as it currently is. To that end, we still have bills to pay and a need for food and clothes. I receive and take no income from these videos apart from contributions made by those that view them. To put not too fine a point on it, this is how I try to get my income. This is my job, if you will. If you got some value from my work, Perhaps I can encourage you to sign up for a Maslow tier membership. If you could consider it as contributing an hour's wage from your monthly pay, you too could be like Layla, who's a long-time friend. Thank you. Namaste. Layla is the inaugural member of the party political Puffin Maslow tiered membership. God, what a mouthful. Yeah, have to work on that. Or if a single contribution is more your thing, you can hit me up at PayPal or coffee.com. Of course, it's just not possible for everyone to help out financially. However, you can still make a massive contribution by ensuring you're subscribed, you've liked or not liked the video, commented and shared it with anyone you think would get value from it. Many thanks for watching. Take care, be safe, and see you in the next one.